Life's party, life's always a party. Let's go.
What's up, baby? How we doing? Welcome back.
We back.
Welcome back to the show. We didn't do a show last week, but we appreciate you guys joining back, and we're ready to party again.
Monumental day, Paul. You know why it's a monumental day?
Why? What's going on?
Ask me why it's a monumental day.
Ryan Smith.
Yes. No, you can't give away my information.
It's in your Instagram. Ryan, what makes today monumental?
Today marks my 1 week of being sober.
Wow.
It wasn't a planned thing. It just kind of something that just happened. So in honor of the 1 week anniversary of me being sober and all those sober people out there, I'm going to chug a beer. We're going to chug a beer.
We're going to drink Scuba beer. We appreciate Scuba as always. If you want to get your own Scuba beer, go to our bio in our Instagram or over on TikTok at Life's a Party Pod. Check out Scuba beer. You get 10% off using our code Life's a Party.
They just hooked us up. We're having a party of ourselves.
Yeah, we're going to have some life.
No one is invited that's listening to this.
A Life's a Party, and Scuba's going to do some, they sent us some stuff. We got some bucket hats, and we're going to have a good time. So definitely check out Scuba. I was on vacation 2 weeks ago, and I introduced some people to the Scuba life.
The Scuba life. The Scuba life chose us.
Yeah.
We didn't choose the Scuba life.
We didn't choose the Scuba life, but they chose us. And it was really dope because it was my girlfriend, her aunt. She's 54. If you go over on our Instagram, if you check it out.
Hilarious video. Hilarious. It's up there on one of the funniest videos I've seen.
It has
good. Like almost 2,000 views on our Instagram.
And she's 54, and she was like, what's that? I need to know what that is. What is that? I was like, it's a scuba. She's like, what do you do? Explain it to her. She's like, oh, I need to do it. Once she did it, dude, she was hooked. She did.
You said she did like 10 of them.
Yeah, we were on vacation. Every bottle we had, she's like, scuba. So she
stop
loved it.
casually drinking. Yeah. And grab a scuba.
Grab
a binge drink. That's the best way to drink.
Grab a scuba. And what's important about that that woman being able to scuba is that no matter where you are in life or how old you are, you're never too old to scuba and never too old to enjoy the party. So
that's for sure. So let's kick off this party with some scuba.
Scuba, baby.
Let's do it. I haven't done this in a minute. Let's see Paul. I'm gonna give a little commentating on Paul. Okay, there's Paul. I hear a little drippage. Okay, not your best.
It's okay.
It looked good on the camera. Okay, I'm gonna give it a go.
Excuse me, baby. As I said,
wait, some people do that like tornado thing.
Yeah, like a tornado. Have you ever seen like people do it without the scuba too, but you pull the scuba up and you spin it so that the beer kind of like circles and it looks like a tornado in the glass. And it's called a tornado if you ever chug a bottle like that.
No longer sober for a week, so I'm gonna start a new week ahead. I mean, maybe we'll see if we can pass the 7th day, and maybe I'll pass that milestone. But until then, I saw something in Disney World that I need to ask you about, Paul.
Okay, what is it?
Disney Genie. Well, first of all, I saw that. First of all, this is what popped my eye. I was at the gym, believe it or not.
Wow,
actually,
look at you.
Actually, I have a bet going on with my girlfriend that I have to give her $5. Like, I have to Venmo her $5 if I don't go to the gym a day.
I like that. That's.
But the thing is like, after I Venmo her $5 or she has to Venmo me $5, we're using that money to go do like something adventurous together.
That's good. That's
and
smart.
Like take that money elsewhere. So right now we're on track to probably go to fucking Italy. I mean, the bank account is starting to stack up.
We're not doing that too hot.
We're flying cross country at this point.
But I like that idea a lot. And what you said with Disney. So Disney is starting something.
Well, I was gonna say I saw that Disney. It's optional to wear a mask now. And then this was the second thing. It was Disney Genie. That's what I saw. I don't know about it, though. What is it?
If you go into Disney parks, we talk about Disney here on the show all the time. If you've ever been to Disneyland or Walt Disney World down in Orlando, what's really cool about the parks is that you have Fast Pass Plus. And Fast Pass is nice because when you go to Disney, no matter what, no matter how long the lines are, you are guaranteed to be on 3 rides for that day. Usually, if you're staying on hotel, like on Disney property at a Disney World resort or hotel or whatever, you can book that Fast Pass Plus reservation usually 6 months in advance. And if not, if you're staying off property, you can do it about 3 months in advance. So
do you pick your rides 3 months, 6 months in advance?
You can, yeah.
And can you change them though after that?
Yeah, you can change them on the app. You can change them literally during that day, like when you're there. But that was something that was free to the guests, and which it's different from like Universal where you buy a fast pass for like $100 for the day, or like if you go to Six Flags, you do the same thing. It's like 80, 60, $90. Like there's different tiers for Six Flags, I know as well, and you like buy it. So it's really nice for Disney because they gave it to you involved in your price. You're already paying so much for a Disney like freaking ticket anyway, so it should be. But that was nice because you can get three rides, guaranteed that you can ride that day without waiting in a line, which is really nice. Well, they changed that and they stopped Fast Pass the last year during the start of COVID. They stopped with the Fast Pass,
and the wealthy people were angry.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah, because you're paying so much for a Disney ticket. It's literally the same price. I mean, COVID wasn't like a different price.
And now they got to wait in line with the peasants like us.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody. Now, this is a different thing where Genie was kind of made in 2019. It didn't really come about, but it was this idea to help plan your Disney schedule. And it's actually a really cool idea where Disney went in and was like, hey, tell us what you want. Do you want to do meet and greets with certain princesses? Do you want to eat at certain restaurants? Are there certain rides that you really want to hit, right? And you put it into this planner and this Genie. This is on the Disney My World or My Disney Experience app.
I don't have that app.
But you can like download the Disney app and the Genie's on there and it's like, hey, it's a planner. So you put the things in and then Disney will curate like the best schedule that you can try to get the most things that you would like done during your trip. So it's a cool idea. But what they're doing here too is because they took away Fast Pass, you can now Disney Genie Plus, and then they're changing the Fast Pass into like what's called Lightning Lane, where you are kind of you're still guaranteed those rides, but you're in like a virtual queue. So instead of being like, hey, 6 months in advance or 3 months in advance, you do it during your day there. And then say like you want to go to Space Mountain and Space Mountain's a 2-hour wait. Instead of waiting in that line, you can go on your app, see if you can get in the next like virtual queue line so that in 2 hours you can just walk on the ride.
All right, so say I don't know what else is in Splash Mountain.
Yes.
What's another ride there?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. I'm in line for Haunted Mansion. It's hot as balls out. You know, I'm feeling a water ride. Yeah. So I can book my water ride and get virtually in line at the Haunted Mansion for Splash Mountain?
Yes, but you can only do one at a time. So say you're in Haunted Mansion and you said, hey, I want to ride Splash Mountain, right? But Splash Mountain's a 2-hour wait. Instead of you waiting for the 2 hours in line and not doing anything else, what you can do is book Splash Mountain as a virtual queue so that your like virtual self is waiting in line for 2 hours. But you can't book another virtual queue for another ride until you've ridden Space Mountain or Splash Mountain.
Oh, that makes sense. When you just roll up to Splash Mountain, I got the Genie Plus, bitch. Let me on my fucking ride.
Okay, so that's one part of that.
You weren't in line. My virtual self was up there. My virtual ride was up there in line, so I'm technically in line. So that's going to cause a lot of fights.
It allows more of a spontaneity, so you don't have to book your fast passes like 6 months in advance. Which is really nice. Spontaneity. Same thing, right? And then what I told Ryan too. So the added thing as well here is that like Universal, you pay like $100 for the day and you get fast passes for all the rides. Where like say like a ride is really busy, so Splash Mountain, right? And that you can't do your virtual queue because you're already waiting, and you just don't want to wait 2 hours. You can be like, hey, I'll pay $10 per person in my group, and we'll just ride it right now.
That's money is all the power in the world in today's world. And like, what's that say? Like, money can't buy happiness. Well, that's bullshit. Little Johnny gets to go on Splash Mountain before Derek because he's got money.
Because his dad's rich, man.
Because daddy's rich. So money does provide happiness to little Johnny.
That's going to add a lot of revenue to the Disney parks.
Because you got people who be like, bloop, I'll just press a button. Because us people, we don't like to... Because like, what's that saying? It's like you go to a bar... And, well, we're going to talk about this later, actually. And you go to the bar, and it's like, oh, I didn't spend any money because I was spending cash or whatever. Yeah. But then these people are like, they don't feel like they're spending money because they kept hitting some button on their thing. And it's not like technically going out of their account. So they don't feel like they're spending as much. But in reality, they have the easiest access to spend more money in the park already.
Well, that was the main idea when Disney came out with the Magic Band readers. If you know what they are, if you go to Disney World... in Orlando, if you stay on a Disney World resort, you get like a Magic Band. We did when we went on our senior trip, and it's like a band on your arm, whatever, and you can literally like hook your credit card up to it. Your ticket to the park is in it. It's connected to your hotel room, so like it's just literally just on your wrist. But the whole point was, hey, if you can connect your card to it, and then you're no longer in the park. If you're in the park, you're no longer looking like swiping your card or getting cash. That you're like more prone to spend. So it's like, hey, I want popcorn, and your little kid wants popcorn. The kid will just go up to the popcorn thing, be like, hey, he'll pay for it. It'll go on the credit card, but you don't ever get like a receipt. You don't know how much it was. So that those bands were kind of trying to incentivize people to spend more money in the park without them knowing.
It's like Disney. It's like, how can we make it
Yep.
the easiest way possible for people to spend money? And this is gonna be like if Dad is in line and little Johnny's throwing a tantrum at the rock and roller coaster, he's like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hit the button." Speed up the process. I just bought first place in this line, or just bought front row in this line.
So that's a whole nother thing too. Like imagine being
what
a rock
happens,
and
like-
roller coaster.
Okay, go ahead. Well, what if they're like staying in line and then you go, "Okay, I'm just gonna pay for it," and then they
Then
just,
boom,
excuse
they
me.
get out of get out of line. They go to the lightning lane line, and they all just spent like you have a family of 4. If you have a family of 4, and on busy days in the summer, you're trying to do that, like your higher tier rides, like your 1 tier, which is like Rock and Roller Coaster or Tower of Terror. Like if that's like rumored to be $10 to $15 on like a busy day per person, you have a family of 4. That's up to $60 per ride that you're paying. Like that's a lot of money on top of your like $120 park ticket.
Hey, people who got money don't care.
They're gonna spend it.
They're gonna spend it because money does buy happiness. All right, let's get into the show. We're starting off with drinking. We
already started off with drinking. Scuba.
We already did.
10% off.
I am no longer
Life's a
sober.
party.
I'm gonna have to go back to count. What was that? Double A meet? Not double A.
Oh wait,
Triple A
wait.
meeting.
Oh
Double A
no,
meeting.
triple A. No, triple A's for your car.
What the hell is the
An AA meeting? You're
AA.
right. My uncle told me a joke. He said, I'm not an alcoholic. You know why?
Why?
Because alcoholics go to meetings, and I don't go to meetings.
That's a good point. But do you have a sign up down here that's like, no great story started with a salad or something? It's like,
Yeah.
it says like alcohol. No great story started off by eating a salad.
Yep, I remember that sign. That was a great sign.
All right, well, let's get into it. Drinking mistakes. So these are mistakes that we tend to see out while we're drinking by our friends, or we even have experienced some of these ourselves.
Yes, we do.
We got 5 of them, so let's go down. The first one is asking the bartender to surprise me. To surprise you. Yeah, surprise me. What do you want to drink? What do you surprise me? That's the worst thing to ask a bartender. I mean, they're busy getting drinks, and the last thing they want to hear is, "Oh no, just surprise me," or "Do what's your favorite," because that just takes time, and nor do they really want to like supply that for you or think of it, and just takes up their time.
Yeah, the bartender, that's so funny. The bartender definitely doesn't want to like think on the spot.
No.
And at the same time, I feel like that's a really rookie move. That's like if you're going into a new bar with your friends, you don't know what's on the menu, but everyone's just kind of ordering their favorite thing already. And you're like, I don't know what the hell's here. Like, I don't want to look weird. Whatever you got, right? But I think in a good scenario would be like if you go to a bar that's like famous for a certain drink. That it's or a
Well, you'll
certain,
say,
like,
"Let me
line.
get the fame." You'll say, "Let me surprise me."
Yeah,
you
be
say,
like,
"Let me get the famous thing." That's fine. That's different.
Yeah, let me get what's popular, right? Let me get your most popular drink on
This
the
what
menu.
makes me think of that little stupid. Oh, okay, well, I think it's stupid. The TikTok trend where like people or like couples go to dates. And then they'll go down the snack aisle and like put their hand down, and the other girlfriend or boyfriend will tell them when to stop.
Yeah.
And then they just grab whatever that snack is, and then they'll go down to the movie and just tell me when to stop, and then they stop and grab whatever they're pointing at. It's like, just get what you want. I mean, like, it's a creative idea, but if I get fucking Cheetos and Nacho Libre as the movie, I'm not gonna have a good night.
Ryan's not a fan.
I'm
of
not
watching-
eating Cheetos and watching Nacho Libre.
No.
I'm just not gonna participate in that. Or people do that with like eating or ordering food. They'll like go down the list and then be like, "Okay, I'm gonna order this," without looking. It's like, come on, guy.
I mean, come on, guys.
What are you doing?
Well, the difference is you know, if you want chicken fingers and fries every time, you're not gonna like look down the thing. But if you're trying to spice things up a little bit, if you're on a date, I could see where it's good. It's good both ways. Do you know the people who do the rock paper scissors for like
The check?
It's like the fast food.
Oh, it's like they pick the favorite like lunch or like their
Well, it's like,
favorite
hey,
dessert place.
It's like, hey, right? So you have a boyfriend and a girlfriend. They're in a car. They're trying to get food. What do? You said, okay, appetizer. Or you do drinks. You go, hey, what do you do drinks first? And then they each do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins gets to pick where they go for drinks.
All right, well, that's good. At
then
least
they
they're
do
at
it-
least picking.
Yeah.
At least one of them's picking.
There you go.
You're not getting a surprise Cheetos and Nacho Libre. That's just a shitty night bound to happen.
So basically, just make sure you know what you're ordering. Order something that you like. If you don't know, just go with a classic or just get a beer. Just
get a Bud Light.
Because honestly, the bartender doesn't care, and maybe you're not gonna like that drink. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't want to go out to a bar, ask them to surprise me, and then I get an awful drink that I just paid $8 to $10 for in like a city where it's like, dude, like I don't want to spend that money. It's crazy.
Facts. Don't do it. All right, next one. Next mistake.
Next one we got hit. See, this one, I feel like is a good time.
Okay. Well, let's see what
We'll
talk
see.
about.
Sometimes people might think this is a mistake, but for me, getting wasted at a family party, is this a mistake or is this a good ass time? I think it depends on your family.
Yeah, it depends what kind of family party it is.
Two-Turd Tony says, right? He says, are we drinking or are we drinking? Because that's the thing, right?
Well, I'm always drinking.
If you're at a family party and your family's just like trying to get together and you're drinking, okay.
Like a family member just died and you're celebrating their life. You don't be doing scuba beers in the middle. I mean, I might.
Unless they love scuba beer.
Like if I die, then yeah, everybody just starts doing scuba beers at my little party. I don't even know what those things are called.
But if your family's like, hey, 4th of July banger, and we're gonna have a nice barbecue, we're gonna get a water slide, we're gonna have this thing catered, you can literally have whatever you want. It's like, let's just go, we're drinking. And if you have a good family that's ready to party and drink with you, I think sometimes that can be the best memories you have, or like drinking with your family, having a good time.
I'm always interested when I go on like family vacations or family parties to see like where my alcohol tolerance stacks up
with your like relatives.
With my relatives. You ever think about that? No, it's like I'm like the older cousin, so like I have a couple 20-year-old kids, and I'm like, can I hang with them?
Yeah, but you always have an uncle.
I'm daddy fun. I can hang with them.
Yeah, I think.
Or like an uncle that are drinking like Manhattans and like these strong ass drinks. I'm like, like sticking to Bud Light. I don't really know where my tolerance stands.
I was at
like, how many Bud Lights is a Manhattan? That's probably like, that's a lot of Bud Lights right there.
Like an old fashioned or Manhattan. I was at a party. My girlfriend, her friend, had like a really big party with her family and stuff, and it was cool because I never met the parents before, and I was taking these shots of this whiskey. I forget what it was called, but it was like an expensive whiskey, and I remember we were taking the shots, and I was taking 2, 3, 4, like with the dad. And the dad like had a new respect for me. Like it was like, oh, this guy I've never met before taking this whiskey shot for shot with me. It's like, I respect you. And it was kind of like this, okay, like let's just go have fun. Let's have like this.
These
is
old
fun.
guys don't think we can hang.
But they're always like, okay, like let me see how many I can do before this kid's on his ass.
Right.
Or this kid's like falling asleep. But if you're going, shot for shot with this older guy drinking whiskey, or like even like the moms love tequila. Like, the dad's whiskey, the mom's crazy on tequila. And whatever you can do to follow the family or like join your relatives, I think it's a good time.
Yeah, us millennials, they don't understand. We grew up in the Four Loko era.
These new
and these
crazy
the
drinks.
Burnett's era. You remember Burnett's?
Dude, everyone.
$10 a bottle of Burnett's. Pink lemonade, peach. I forget the other, blue raspberry.
I've talked to people about Burnett's, and I think Burnett's is one of those alcohols, those vodkas that it's like you will remember for the rest of your life. If you drank it a lot, you literally just me talking about it will bring up this memory, and it'll be on your tongue. Like you'll be like, you'll try to throw up because you'll realize how gross it was. But honestly, for a cheap vodka and you're in high school, you're just trying to have a good time.
What's funny, but one last thing on this is that it's funny to see like these older dads. They're big in like the shotgun. Like, oh, I could shotgun. I'll shotgun with you guys. Like once they get hammered, they're excited about shotgun. Like we talked about this on the show. I was like, I don't know if shotgun was a generational thing. Like I don't know if they shotgunned back in the day.
They did because I asked my dad about it. I remember like shotgunning in like at the end of high school or early college. And I was like, "Did you guys shotgun?" He goes, "Yeah, we invented shotgun. Like we were shotgunning everything. Like this isn't a new thing. Y'all." He's like, "You guys didn't create everything." But I think it's more of like this generation is just like trying. I mean, the idea of binge drinking really like with college. I mean, it definitely started way before us. But I think just with social media and like the videos that we can see everything now.
I mean, we have chugging tools now.
Yeah, and this is a newer.
I bring it to vacation.
Right?
They're like, "What the fuck is that?" Yeah. I'm like, "It's a scuba beer."
They're like, "I used to use my thumb and punch a hole."
They're like, "Show me how to do it again. Show me how to do it." I'm like, "I just did 7 scuba beers." I mean, I think you get the message after one. All right, next one is forgetting your ID when you're going out to the bar. If you forget your ID, you can't get in. So I actually have a buddy who's notorious for this.
Okay.
Joe, I'm shouting him out because he's an idiot, and he was my roommate at college, and he never I don't even know if he has a wallet. I mean, I don't even know if we have those friends who just don't have wallets, and we know how their life kind of tends to go. And so we went to Wildwood for the weekend. It's like an hour and a half drive to Wildwood. We get there for the weekend. We get there Friday night. We're going to be there Saturday, Sunday. Dude forgot his ID. So what? He had no car because we carpooled there. So he was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, hanging out in the house by himself because he couldn't go out because he forgot his ID.
That's a party foul. That's just a bad time.
And that is a party foul.
And honestly,
it's a mistake.
You hate that, especially if you're trying to have a good time with your friends and like that's like the killer. You know what I mean? Like that's a Debbie Downer kind of thing.
Do you think we're starting to get to the age where we're like 24, where it's like we're starting to like not even realize that we need to bring an ID?
I mean, I bring my wallet everywhere.
Well, yeah,
I feel
me
like if
too.
you're not bringing your wallet everywhere, and if you don't want to bring that stuff, like be like our friend, we'll shout him out here too, Sean. Sean's one of those guys he's got that phone wallet.
Yeah.
So it's like his phone, and then you flip it open.
He looks like the biggest idiot when he takes a phone call.
It's like a 40-year-old.
Hello? It's like his debit card's in his ear while he's talking to somebody on the phone.
Yeah,
It's like fold it up, dude. Like, come on. your debit card is in your ear. I mean, fold it over at least while we're gonna take a call.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Sean's never gonna end up like Joe.
That's true.
Because Sean's
He's gonna have his ID.
Always got his debit card, ID, everything on his phone. So, but here's the thing: if Sean loses his phone, he also loses his wallet. Which sucks.
You lose all of it.
It's not a good
Do
time.
you get carded often? Like me, I get carded because like I have like a baby face.
You do. Well, you can't grow like a beard or anything.
Okay, what is this? Fuck shit on Ryan.
It's roast Ryan Day. I mean, if you want to keep.
No, I do get carded a lot. The other day, I went to the liquor store, not my season pass liquor store.
No. You're like new liquor store.
This is just a new spot. I wasn't like in the area, and she carded me, and she started fucking bending the shit out of it. Like I literally thought she was gonna snap it. I'm like, that is real. I am 24 years old, and she literally bent my ID. It's like, what are you trying to get at here?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I was trying to buy like a 30 Bud Light, but
Most of the places that I still it's ID'd of just like really big bars, especially down the shore. I was at a couple bars like over the last couple weeks, and all those places because they're all young kids and it's just a younger scene. They know they're definitely gonna have fakes in the row and in the line, so it's like they're checking everyone's really hardcore.
sporting events they check everybody. I mean, they'll ID my like uncles and shit
That's
like
like
that.
a
And they're,
state law and like a
Well,
there's
come on, if Granny's getting a Stella beer, I don't think you need the Carter. It's all right. It's all right. I get people don't want to get
sorry,
fired.
Granny.
Sorry, Granny. All right, next one.
Next one we have here is paying with a debit card and opening a tab.
Big mistake.
What? Just like paying with your debit card in general? You
Yeah,
don't think-
opening a tab. Like my biggest problem is like I always want to. I like to have cash when I go out to like a bar
I think that's smarter for
because
sure.
I spend less money. But then when I start to open a tab, I am like expecting the worst thing possible when I get that tab back. Like I'm easy over $100 every time. I don't even know how. Well, I do know how, but
I drink, so I know how. But,
I do know how.
But with a debit, would you say paying with a credit card is better, or just
No.
the idea of paying with a card in general?
just paying with a card, like here's my card, open a tab, like that is dangerous.
The only
because
problem-
once the drink starts going, you're not looking at your wallet.
Yes.
Because like, if I'm really messed up at a bar and I'm like hammered and I'm going to get another beer and I look at my wallet, I got like $5 bill. It's like, oh shit, I should probably be done. Like I'm not gonna
Yes.
open another tab. But then when you're having an open tab, oh, I'll get here, we'll get 3 shots here. Like I find myself ordering more shots, my tab's open.
Yeah.
Than when I have like cash, because you're looking at the amount and the value of what those shots cost instead of just seeing them come out for basically you think they're for free, but they're not.
Well, here's the thing: with a debit card, you have you could leave your debit card at the bar.
That's
which
another
we've
thing.
said party foul. I've done it. I've only done it once, but I remember in the morning, I woke up and I was like, shit, like I don't have my.
That's
debit
the
card.
worst feeling.
And I've never done that before, but it was one of those nights where I remember just blacking out, like just having a good time. And I remember calling the place, be like, "Hey man, like, dude, like I feel like a little kid, like, hey, do you have my
debit
do you have my debit card?" And they're like, "Yeah, you need to come down and pay your damn bill from last night."
They
Paul.
said that?
No, but
I
that
was like-
guy's like, "Come on, bro, like pay your bill." So that sucks. And then at the same time, you don't. If you're at a part or like a bar down the shore, or they got a lot of different bars. You don't have to be like. With cash, you just deal with it. You go right there, and then you don't have to have that inconvenience of, oh my gosh, like I forgot my card, or like.
And sometimes if you're bar hopping, bars they have like a minimum for your card.
that's true too, yeah.
So then you're like, oh, okay, I'll buy a shot to get the. I'm not over the minimum. I'll take a shot. So then that's another thing. All right,
Last one we got here.
is put in your beer. This is probably the biggest one. So this is like not in correlation with the bars, but more of like a house party thing.
Yeah.
So a big mistake is putting your beer that you bring to the party in the communal fridge at a party. So I bring a 30 Bud Light, I put it in like the kitchen fridge where everyone can see and everybody can take it at any time.
And you're not paying attention because you're
Yeah.
enjoying the party. But here's what's so funny. I remember in high school where people used to walk around with like certain beers where it was like that guy only had Michelob.
Yeah, he's
so
a
that,
Michelob guy.
Like somebody, like I would show up with Michelob, have my own, right? But at the same time, every time I walked around, he'd be like, "That's yours."
You drinking
right?
Michelob?
Yeah, you drinking Michelob?
Like,
Because,
there's only 2 Michelob guys there.
like, you're not taking mine, right? I was like, no, like I literally have it. But I know some guys would be the only guy there with maybe Bud Light Lime, right? And then you'd see a girl walking around with Bud Light Lime.
It's like, where did you get that?
And he'd be like,
bring
"What?
that back here.
Where'd you get it? I know where you got it, and you better put that back."
That's the problem with me because I drink Bud Light. I'm also not a counter. So I don't really count how many beers I have. So I really don't know if anyone ever taken one. But I am notorious to being an asshole. I mean, when I was in high school, I would take beers in the communal fridge.
Yeah, I know you would.
Do you think you never done that?
Yeah, I mean, I have.
See, so he's like coming at me like I'm the only one that's done that.
No, but the difference is Ryan was like notorious for it. Where I was like, dude, like I would be drinking, and then like I'd have my like 12 pack or my 18 pack or like whatever, and then I would know how many I drank, and there'd be like three less than that, and I knew it was Ryan. Like I'm like, this is literally him, man. Like stop taking my.
I'm just having a good time.
Bring more beer or ask me, and I will give you beer.
I was underage.
Yeah, but I'll give you more, bro. You're my friend.
You were friends?
Yeah. Next segment we have here are things that people do that make no sense. Some of these we agree with. Some of these we actually do feel make sense. So first one.
All right. First one is when is checking the fridge, seeing that there's no food in there, and then going back to the fridge 5 or 10 minutes later to check again. It's like, what do you like? Did we expect something's gonna pop up that we're gonna enjoy? That's like well, like is pizza gonna magically appear in the fridge 5 minutes later?
I think it's just it's a habit. It's just a habit people do. They're looking for food. They're hungry. They're checking every possible spot. They check the fridge.
What if it's like your expectations like lower? It's like, okay, I'm checking the fridge,
looking for good stuff, right?
We have nothing in here, Mom. There's nothing in here. Okay, I'm gonna go away from the fridge. All right, now I'm going to go back, but I'm going to maybe change my mind. I mean, maybe I'm not feeling like my expectations aren't as high anymore. Go back to the fridge. I mean, that's the only really reason that makes sense when you go back to the fridge.
Yeah,
or is if you lower your expectations.
Just too bored, and you're like, I need something to eat something, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, sometimes you just go to the fridge and be like, you're not even hungry. You just want to look what's in there.
What's in here? What's in here? What can I have later? What can I have right now?
All right, so that is something that doesn't really make sense that us humans do. All right, next one.
Us humans do.
Us humans.
Next one we have here is accumulating hundreds of dollars worth of stuff in your cart, like shopping online, and then not buying it because you don't want to pay for shipping. That's like $6.
Dude, I am notorious for this. I'll literally spend like an hour on a website adding a bunch of shit to my cart. And then it's like, oh, here are like the fees and then the shipping details. And it's like $3.99. And I'm like, fuck no.
I'm not paying for shipping.
It's $201 now instead of $195.
Yeah, the shipping will just put you past like that mark that you're like, I was willing to spend like $100.
Shipping should always be free.
I don't know about that.
Well, it's always like if you spend $60 and I'm always at like $58.
Oh yeah, if you're buying from like a retail store. But that's the problem with Amazon, right? Like Amazon got us so used to not paying for shipping with Prime, but people forget that they pay a shit ton of money for Prime for the year. That they already put that money out, but it's like not. I mean that when I'm on Amazon, I'm only shopping stuff for Prime because I'm not. If I'm paying for Prime and then I have to pay something that's not on Prime and pay like $5 or $6 for shipping, I agree. I ain't getting that item.
And it sucks too because
I'll
literally shop for I'm not a big shop. I'm an online guy.
Yes.
And I'll like add shit to my cart where it's like $385, and it's like, okay, what is $5.99 gonna do?
Nothing.
But it actually ends up deleting my whole shopping cart, and I get nothing. So how does it's like that? It makes no sense at all. Why do I cancel my $385 for just an extra $5?
You don't know.
Because money rules the world.
Money is powerful, man.
Money is powerful. Okay, next one is stopping the microwave 1 second before the beeping starts. This is something a lot of people do when like they come home drunk and they don't want to wake the family or the wife.
Yes.
And you're like, oh shit! Like you give like you dive, you're diving to stop it at 1 second. And sometimes you get there, sometimes you don't.
This is a skill that I have.
Oh, you're good at this.
I'm good at it. I don't
you eat a lot of popcorn, so
yes.
I'm sure you have a lot of practice with this.
Honestly, if you're at the microwave a lot, and I might be. I'm just always heating stuff up. As Ryan said, I'm a big popcorn guy, so I love the popcorn. And that's the thing. Like, I'm sitting there. By the time I know popcorn gets down to like 20, 30 seconds, I'm going to stand in front of the microwave. Like, I'm just going to watch this thing finish, right? And then with popcorn, too, you got to hear. Like, you got to hear when it's, like, ending so it doesn't burn your popcorn. But, like, that thing ain't never hitting zero. It's never hitting zero. It's not. I'm not giving it the chance. I got it. And 1 second, it's, like, literally, like, the flash. Like, I'm just, like, ready to go.
It's like Paul's, like, video game Madden rating for stopping the microwave is, like, a 90.
99, bro. Bam. I'm right there. It's just a skill I have. Is it worthless? Probably.
Dude, it is worth it. Dude, I saw a video video on TikTok, I think, a while ago. It's like if you hit like a certain number while you put it in your microwave, it like silences your microwave.
7.
That's the number?
Well, here's the thing.
Are you sure it's 7 for everyone?
Here's the thing.
I gotta go home and try.
With the microwave. Have you ever used the number 7 on a microwave?
That's a good point.
No one has, because it's not worth. Like, what is it doing? It's nothing. So somebody was like, "What if I press a 7? What does it do?" And I'm pretty sure it's a silencer.
I'm gonna go home and try it because I saw where it's like you can silence your microwave.
It's got to be, because at the end of the day, what are you putting in the microwave for 7 minutes? Or like, what are you putting in the microwave for like? I'm gonna put it for 3 minutes and 57 seconds. Like, no one. You're never using it.
I do that.
Why?
Because like I like my popcorn a certain number.
You don't
it
put
has to be a certain, like each microwave has a different like power,
like a wattage. Yes.
Yeah. So I know the exact. I put my popcorn in for 232. I made that up.
You don't just.
I almost said 265. That's not even the number.
Do you ever? You don't just use the popcorn setting?
No, because I don't think that works right. And plus, different bags are different. Like, it burns my popcorn every time I hit popcorn.
I agree with you. I think
if you hit popcorn, it also like rounds down. I think.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think my microwave just sucks.
I think everyone. I'm big curious question. Big debate. Big question for everyone. When you make popcorn in the microwave, do you use the popcorn setting, or do you use a number that you have in your head that works for your, like, is it 2 minutes? Is it 3 minutes? Is it 2 minutes and 56 seconds? Is it like some specific number that you say, hey, I know popcorn works great at this time for my microwave? Or do you just use the popcorn setting?
Like, you might not think that's a very like pivotal question, but it is. But you know why? It's because if you put your popcorn in for too less of a time and it goes off, no, it's like too less. Okay. So you don't have enough popcorn. You then have to go and like restart it, but then it has to regather the heat to get back to that temperature to start popping again. So while the other kernels are trying, this is an in-depth thing. So while the other kernels are trying to gain that heat back up to pop, the other ones that are already cooked are burnt. Yep. So it's important. You can't undersell the power of your popcorn.
So here's the thing with popcorn: if you don't know the power of the microwave, you always put it at a higher time, right? So if my popcorn, I'm pretty sure I do popcorn at like my house like 2 minutes and like 30 seconds.
200?
Right? No, 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Right?
Like
but if I'm at like another microwave, I don't know this microwave. You know, we're not close. That I put the popcorn in, I'll always do 3 minutes, because what I'll do is I know
the sound.
I'll listen, right? But here's the thing.
Paul's Madden rate is 99 overall 99, popcorn maker.
I know the popcorn, bro. But Ryan said too, if you put it for too little at a time for popcorn and not enough popcorn like cooks, and you have a lot of kernels, and you can't put it back in the microwave. It's dead. Throw it out. You
can't restart.
Or just eat the popcorn that's there and cook another bag, because honestly, you can't put that bag back in the microwave. It just will not work. I'm sorry, coming from the master here with the 99 rating, either get it right, throw it out, or get a new bag.
I got 2 things. One thing I love is that the popcorns that are like kernels that are almost pop, but they're not.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite. And the other thing is like microwaves should come down with like a countdown, like a 10-second countdown. You think maybe? Or is that just pointless?
What do you
Where
mean?
It's like I put like 3 minutes on the microwave, or 2 minutes on the microwave, I'm heating up like chicken cutlets. And I go sit down, and then while the 2 minutes are going down, there's a 10-second countdown. It goes...
Hope to God, don't sound like that. Hope to God.
No, because like you don't know when it's 10 seconds.
Well, just freaking pay attention to your microwave.
Yeah, that was actually a bad idea. That will not pass on Shark Tank.
No, it will not.
All right, what's the next one?
Next one we have here is refusing to eat your food until you find the perfect show to watch. This is necessary. You need to know. So I'm a big YouTube guy where
YouTube.
Yeah, love YouTube, where, you know, when I'm eating by myself, I won't turn the TV on.
Me too.
I'll sit down at my kitchen table, I'll have my food ready to go, I'll look through YouTube, find a good video, prop my phone up, and watch the YouTube video while I eat. And I've heard that from YouTubers, that's like your highest compliment. It's like if you pick my video to watch while you eat, huge compliment, I appreciate you, that kind of thing. And I think that's the same thing. I'm not going to start watching my show or like whatever video I'm watching until like I have or I'm not going to start eating until I have the perfect video to watch.
Here's where problems can arise. So couples that can't figure out like what they want to watch. So say we make like a fettuccine dinner, chicken parm, big chicken parm guy. And the couple, we make it, we go sit down, we gotta pick a show. Because like we said, we have to have something to watch while we eat. We're not eating in silence on the couch or something.
No.
And then the problem is that we can't figure out a show on Netflix and the food gets cold. And then that's the problem. And then we're trying to find the Netflix show, and we all know how that goes with a significant couple. Doesn't go fucking smooth.
No.
And then you got to eat your cold food watching the show you don't even want to watch. But that is a thing that's funny because I do like to watch. YouTube is my go-to when eating food. I always tell my parents, it's like cable is so overrated. It's like that generation is so like accustomed to coming home and putting a TV on. Like, oh, I got home. What's the first thing I had to do? TV, like the news or just like the game show or like this channel. It's like my parents always have to have the TV on.
Yeah,
it's like why? Like I sit there and do work in quiet peace. The TV sucks. I don't know. Sorry, that's my cable rant. Like ESPN, don't even get me started on ESPN's programming. That is the worst programming I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, I agree. ESPN definitely needs to
There'll be a
upgrade.
walk-off home run in baseball or like a triple overtime NHL game that went, some guy scored 6 goals and their lead story will be that Aaron Rodgers wants a new contract.
Yep.
The program sucks. Sorry, ESPN. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me out there.
So let us know, are you a person who like waits to eat your food until you find that perfect video, or are you just pissed off at ESPN? Like tell, you know what I mean?
ESPN is brutal. I almost tweeted the other day. Like I always find myself almost tweeting out of like pure emotions, and then I take a step back. It's like, Ryan, you don't need to do that.
No.
So I don't really tweet that often. All right, here we go. Next one. So this is a great one. Replaying how you said here during attendance over and over again in your head. So like when you're in class in college or you're in high school and the teacher's taking attendance, you're like replaying about how you said here when the teacher called your name. Like, did you say it right? One thing that I do is pretty funny is that I'll like sit there before class and practice how to say here. Like here, I'll be here, here. I'm here. Like, I don't know, like, I get a warm-up, and I play it several hundred times in my head before I execute it. It doesn't even need to execute how I picture in my head.
So I think that's a lot of people. I think it's like, hey, you know your last name's coming up in the alphabet, and it's coming through, and you're like, okay, like, do I say here? Like, how do I say here? Do I put a hand up? Do I just look at the teacher and, like, give you a little nod? You know what I mean? It's like, because there's a lot of people that, when they do attendance, they're silent. They're like, here.
Dude. You know, the worst fucking thing is present. I hate that. I hate when people. Is that something you did?
Yeah, I definitely did.
You did present?
I feel like.
Or when they add like the Spanish and not even in Spanish class, presente or presente.
It's just you're gonna get those kids in the class who are gonna try to like.
I'm in present.
Yeah,
sit down, John. All right, just say you're here. God damn it.
They're gonna want to stand out in the roll call. So I think that's funny because you know as a like a middle school kid. I was always in class being like, okay, like how do I say it today or like whatever. And then, I feel like when you're just listening, you're like, oh, how's everyone else saying? Like it was such a mundane thing that is not fun, but you just try to, it was
big for me. It was big for me because I had a very, like, I was a big kid, but like my voice was so high pitched.
Yes.
So I'm sitting there like, how am I going to get my voice like deep enough so I don't sound like a pussy in front of the whole class?
And that's definitely like the middle like no, but now thinking about it too, that's definitely like some middle school shit where like you're going through puberty and it's like, dude, God forbid you're like a kid
like a voice crack,
like your voice cracks, and that's just a whole day thing that you're gonna be picked on for. That's not the way to start out your day in middle school, and that could be devastating. So I can feel why we're replaying and making sure that we said here correctly.
He'd be like, Ryan. I'd be like, here. He's like, who the fuck is that? Where is Ryan? And did you eat him? Did you eat Ryan? It's like, where is Ryan? Here.
Next one we have here is setting or hitting save on a document that you just saved 2 seconds ago, and it's some PTSD. And I am definitely...
Yeah, I'm sure you have many post-traumatic situations with this.
It's just, dude, like in college, like imagine writing such a long piece, like a paper or something that you're straining over, and then you're like, your server crashes. Or, if you're writing on like Google like Docs, or if you're on Word and your computer crashes. Like, dude, at that point, like you... As a college kid, you could be so stressed out where you just like throw out your computer at that point. Like you're like, I'm done, or like you just won't turn the assignment in. I've done that with videos, dude. As a film major, I'd be doing videos, and that like Premiere and the video editing softwares that I use are prone to crashing. So it's like, dude, you're already scared that when you're working on a project that if you aren't pressing save every couple minutes, like you could be screwed.
I've been there. I've been there to the extreme. I was at Rowan for school when I was taking a publication and layout design class, And that class, we had to have a flash drive.
Yeah.
And I'm not good with how to eject a flash drive properly.
They warn you.
And it was the end of the year, and all of my projects were on there. And of course, our final was to go back and edit all those and make it one big portfolio. And just a simple wrong ejection of the flash drive erased every single project I did. So I had to go in like the building was open 24 hours. I would go in like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, and work for fucking hours. And it was brutal. And I had post-traumatic stress from it. And I hate flash drive. Like, why is the flash drive? Why do you have to like slide it over to eject? Like, it makes no sense. Like, where's Elon Musk? Like, can he figure out something where it's like we don't have to do that? Just like I don't think we should even have to charge our phones anymore.
Yes.
Like, how can we go to the moon, but we still have to charge an iPhone and pay $30 for a charger, $60 for a charger that breaks every other day? Sorry.
Ryan wants
a party.
He wants wireless chargers that use Wi-Fi.
I don't want wireless chargers. I just want to like. Why can't a phone just have everlasting battery?
You gotta charge. That's literally a battery you need to charge.
We're going to the moon.
We have a
Dogecoin cryptocurrency that we're gonna be paying with, but we can't have a phone now. We don't have to charge.
We have just not invented limitless power yet. Unfortunately,
I find that hard to believe.
Last one we have. As Ryan continues his rant.
Pretending to look at some random item in the food store after noticing that someone is looking at the item you actually want. I do this often because I have a problem interacting with strangers in public places. So if that lady's like looking at like the pastas,
why is this?
She's looking at the penne, and I need the penne. I'm not gonna step in front of her and reach across and grab the penne.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So I have to like pretend to look at the fucking avocados while she's getting the penne and wait till she's done.
Yeah, you don't want to like creep on that woman. Like, you know what I mean? You don't want to get too close.
What if that's the only thing I'm there for is the penne pasta?
You gotta wait.
Why? Well, I mean, I do, but
that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
Why do I wait?
Go
here.
Go and get your penne. Man.
You don't do that?
No, I feel like sometimes like if I'm at a clothing store or something and like there's a piece of clothing that maybe like I looked at earlier and then I'm going back to buy, but someone's like currently looking at it, it's like awkward. So like you just have to walk around the store again until that guy leaves.
Take a lap.
Yeah, that guy leaves and is not looking at that that clothing that I want, and then I'll go back, look at it, grab it, and go buy it. So dude,
it happened to me for the Sixers game the other day. I had to go get a Sixers shirt because I didn't want to wear my Ben Simmons jersey to the game, obviously for reasons we are aware of.
Yeah.
And this girl is like looking at the same exact shirt that I want with her parents, but she's sitting there trying on every size.
Yeah.
And I'm standing like 10, 15 yards back. I'm like, you're trying on all these shirts, and all I need is just to grab the extra large, and I'm good to go. So then I finally went in, and I was like, excuse me.
Well,
excuse me.
You could be nice about it. Yeah.
No, I didn't even say, get the fuck out of the way. But yeah. I usually tend to wait and act very awkward behind the scene.
It's just what it is. So things that were, that people do that make no sense. And
you know what's kind of funny? What I do. This has nothing to do with the segment at all.
What?
So like when I go to like an ice cream parlor or like a Lena's or something, when like two cars or like I pull into a parking spot at the same time as someone else. I always tell my girlfriend, like, hurry up.
You gotta beat them?
We gotta beat them there. And it's like a speed walk to get to the line so they're not in front of us. I do that to a lot of places.
No, so I realized this yesterday. This is so funny that you brought that up. I realized this yesterday. I went down the shore to do like a photo shoot, and I wanted to go to this famous pizza parlor. So I had to park or whatever. What I realized after was that the woman who parked after me, like behind me, that I guess, I don't know, somehow got in front of me in line. And then when I ordered pizza and like I left the pizza, I realized that woman like beat me, and I was like, how the hell did that woman get her food like before me when she clearly pulled up after me? She was there after me. Like, where is this woman coming from? So
I do that with restaurants too. You'll see like a party of like 7 or a family of 6, and it's like us two. I'm like, hurry up. I mean, we could do your makeup inside. Like, go to the back. Like, we gotta get in there. I mean, we gotta. The Avengers are coming into the party.
Dude, that's the worst with like a line. Like I've seen that with lines, especially in restaurants where it's like you have a party or something, where it's like, dude, like I see all these people coming from the parking lot. And I'm like, dude, we gotta go because I'm not waiting an extra 20 minutes because you want to take an extra 30 seconds. Like that's just not what's gonna happen.
That's funny. All right, last segment of the show is we got some sports. We got questions that are would you rather, and obviously, as I mentioned, sports edition. So the first one is would you rather, Paul? Here. Would you rather watch a regular season game courtside? So I guess we're talking about an NBA game courtside. Would you rather sit courtside or go to a high stakes playoff game and sit in the rafters, the nosebleeds?
Okay.
Okay, you're gonna answer my question?
Yeah, well, I'm thinking about it. But I think
Here.
Sorry. Oh
Sorry.
my God. Personally, I think I would sit courtside for a regular season game.
I like that answer. I do want to do that. That's one thing on my bucket list, but I would pick rafters. So we talked about this with the presidency.
Okay.
Or like I like the fact of being somewhere that's monumental.
Yes.
So say I go to this playoff game and I'm sitting in the nosebleeds. I'm up. I could barely see the field. I got like an obstruction of right field at a baseball game. But like some dude hits for the cycle, first cycle ever in MLB history, World Series game, one that will go down in history. To say that you're there,
Yes.
even though you were in a shitty seat and didn't even get a good view of that said play, or something along like the game-winning shot of like a half-court shot that wins the NBA Finals, I like to say like, hey, kids, like I was at that game. Like Uncle Ryan was at that game. Instead of saying like, oh, I was courtside for the Hawks versus the Hornets.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. I could be at like
You can't get both.
No,
is this where you're going with this?
No, but I'm saying, say you're at like a Sixers-Lakers game, right? Regular season Sixers-Lakers game, and something happens that like, say LeBron goes for
Like a dunk.
No, like, yeah, a special dunk, or maybe he goes for like 55 that game, or like something like monumental can happen with like individual records during a regular season game. And as I said, I think just being courtside is a bucket list item that like you won't be able to do like very often. If you're not wealthy, super wealthy like
Hey,
us.
money rules the world.
Rules the world. So
Little Johnny's going on Splash Mountain first, and he's saying courtside with LeBron James.
So if you can do that, I think I'd rather take that because I like the playoff stuff. I've never been to a playoff game that I've always wanted to do, but
I think courtside seats at like the Knicks game go for like $10,000 to $12,000.
dude, they're crazy. It's ridiculous.
And even like shitty teams like the Oklahoma City Thunder, I think they go for like $6,000 a seat, like courtside. So it's crazy. But that's definitely so. Hopefully, hey, subscribe this YouTube page, and maybe we'll be courtside. Long ways to go. All right, next one.
Next one we have here is: would you rather coach a college or a professional team?
I would rather coach a college team.
Why?
And the reason B is because I feel that like professional coaches, for good reason, don't get respected by the players. Because you have coaches who are making like literally like 50 times less what like Steph Curry, LeBron, Tom Brady, Dak Prescott, like all these players are making millions of dollars more than the guy who they're supposed to be listening to. And I'm sure like that's got to be like a kick in the nuts for a coach who's got to control a locker room full of grown men who even some are even older than them, even in like the NBA where they're coaching guys who are older than them and making millions of dollars more than them. So that's got to be difficult. It's got to be easier to control these 18-year-old kids, and you have more like authority over them.
I agree with you on that statement where I think coming from college, and college athletes, that's their time to grow, right? And I think they respect the coach a lot, just being there and then trying to be that mentor and trying to be that person that's going to help them get to the next level like the professionals. And I think do probably have a higher respect for them. But I think, sometimes it might be even harder to coach the college kids and like those college people who don't want to listen to you sometimes, where if you get really good players that buy into the system, I think it's, crapshoot sometimes, especially with the NBA. But if you get those really good players who like buy into the system, know their role players and know where they're at, I think a coach in the professional league can be a lot more valuable than the coach in the college league.
And plus, you're like coaching like Tom Brady, and you're like, it's fun. I always think it's funny while watching NBA games on TV, and you'll see referees be like, "Hey, that was a foul." They'll go over to like the table and tell the book guy and be like, "Hey, that was a foul on Russell Westbrook." Like that was a foul on LeBron. like in like college and stuff, they just say the number of the player who committed the foul. Yeah. Now they come over, that was a foul on Embiid. it's just funny how it's like goes about. But I can see both sides for sure.
And then next one, what do we got?
All right. Would you rather, Paul, have a shoe deal and have a shoe like Paulie J's?
Yeah, Paulie J's.
Or would you rather have an award named after you?
It's a clear decision.
The shoes.
Award.
What? Why are we always like not on the same page when we get like link up like that?
Shoes come and go. Fashion.
You have a shit ton of shoes.
Fashion, yeah, but fashion.
Shoes don't come and go. Jordan's been out.
Yeah, but I think maybe
It's like an outlier.
100 years though. We don't know if, some bigger basketball player will come out these higher new shoes. Jordan's, passed away. They're cool, but like it's still a fashion trend, right? Where an award, I think, if it's very prestigious, if you did a lot to get there, I think your name will always be attached to that award. And like people like, oh, what did you do?
Like the Vince Lombardi trophy?
Yeah, or
that's like the Walter Payton Man of the Year award?
Yeah, like that's cool, right? Or the Jimmy V award, right?
Yeah.
Like those are cool because your name's literally in the award. People will be like, oh, what's that? They play his video every year, right? They play Jimmy V's video. Why was he important? What did he do? Why do we name this award after him? And then what's the legacy that these people are trying to build up to who are receiving this award? So if I did something so good that like someone's naming an award after me that it's going to be handed on to people, 100% take that.
You kind of convinced me. I was originally going to say shoe, but like nowadays everybody gets a shoe.
Right? Yeah.
I feel like
that's true.
Nowadays
Also,
everybody gets a freaking shoe. So like an award is more of like a prestigious honor. What is the Oscars named after? Like is there an Oscar? Like Oscar Mayer Wiener?
I don't think so.
Who is Oscar? Like what? Or is that just like the department name?
No, but I know like certain ones, like with the MTV Movie Awards or like the Music Awards, where like Michael Jackson will have. I think it's like the Lasting Legacy Award will like be named after someone. So I think that's cool too. You know what I mean?
It'd be dope to have like custom shoes though. You could have an award named after you, and you can have like Nike do like an edition, like the Paul or like the Life's a Party edition Nikes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's not technically your shoe, but it's like a customized shoes. And everybody can customize their own shoes nowadays. Just go on the website and make your own.
I agree.
All right, next one.
We have, would you rather win the World Series or win the Super Bowl?
So I work at a sports book company, and I knew football in America was a big deal. But when I tell you football is something that practically almost runs this country and how really gigantic the sport is in America, it's pretty nuts. Like the numbers we do for football are beyond what all the other sports combined give us. So it's like it is truly remarkable how many people pick football as their number one sport. So I think winning the Super Bowl is the easy answer here.
I agree, and I think just the amount of people that are watching that game in general, in the world. I mean, so many people watch the Super Bowl. Even if you don't like football, it's just something that everyone's eyes are on, and I think it's just such a monumental game in general. And then being that person who wins that game, who was in that moment, being there on the high stage with the most popular sport in the U.S. I agree. Super Bowl.
That's baseball's off the world, so that's 7 games. I mean, that's 7 games you have to win. But what was I was gonna say I was talking to this with my girlfriend the other day. It's there's not really a lot of international players that play football. If you really think about it,
it's very American.
You said, there's a bunch of international baseball players, a bunch of international basketball players, but you don't see a lot. Most football players in the NFL are Americans. Well, because what other countries play football?
You have Canada, but that's literally it. No one else plays football.
Because everybody else's countries, that's football. But that's the we were talking about this. It's that's the least in America. It's weird.
I think it's just an American thing where we'd rather have our own sport than compete with everyone else from around the world. With soccer and that idea that he said where soccer is the most popular sport in the world by far. But in America,
it's literally last.
Yeah, and football's around the world, it's literally last, but it's number one here in the U.S. But in other countries, rugby is very popular. That's your closest thing to American football.
Yeah, I think there's 2 people who are playing football now who played rugby. Shout out right here. Paul's working for the Jets now, talking about the NFL.
If you're on YouTube,
we're not Jets fans. I'm a Giants fan, so I just had to shout that out that I am not a Jets fan. But it's a cool little memorabilia Paul got working today.
Yeah, I just started working for the Jets. I'm doing some stuff for them, and I won this helmet. So it's a mini helmet signed by Jets player. It's pretty cool. I decided to put it on a set today, and Ryan's if we're putting it on a set, just got to make sure that everyone knows that I don't like the Jets.
Quentin Williams, good player. So out of Alabama, D tackle. So nice little pickup there.
And last one we have here
is: would you rather ensure overtime, Paul, or risk losing and win in regulation? Wait, I read that wrong. So would you rather ensure overtime or risk losing?
I think it's hard because I think it all depends on how your team's playing and the momentum in the game, right?
I agree with you. So it's basically if you think you're the better team by far, and you think an extra we'll say NBA, extra 5 minutes in NBA, you think you're the better team that you can outplay them for 5 minutes, then yeah, you play for overtime. But if you're the underdog, you go take that last 3-pointer, you go throw up the Hail Mary and you go for it all. balls to the wall. Life's a party. Life's always a party.
Ryan said it perfectly. That's our show today. So
We back. You missed us.
Yeah, we're back. We missed last week. Hopefully you caught up, or you're just checking out old episodes. We appreciate all the support. As always, if you're following us on Instagram, TikTok, at Life's a Party Pod, go give us a subscribe over on YouTube. Big like if you're watching this on YouTube.
Give us a
already.
like. We want some likes. So I don't think we've ever hit 10 likes. So if we could hit, like we said 50 earlier, I think that was a little much. Can we get the double fucking digits? I mean, let's just get the double. If you get the double digits, that will be very dear to my heart.
We'd appreciate.
We'll give you the Jets.
No, we will not. But we guys appreciate you guys listening to the end. As always,
Music, take us out.
peace, baby.
Later.